Good morning. I think that accreditation and ranking can probably help in achieving academic excellence. Right now we heard our previous speakers, and it was more towards engineering institutions. Let me focus more on management schools. In India we have about 3,000 business schools, or probably more than that. And last year it was reported that more than 150 schools applied to withdraw their registration, their approval. It is also reported that around 35% of seats are vacant in all business schools. And I'm sure the same situation must be in engineering also. And a lot of debate is going about employability and quality. And surprisingly that very few Indian business schools, they are accredited, whether it is national or international. When I talk of national accreditation, that means NBA, which is chaired by Professor Surendra Prasad. I also happen to be a member of the governing council. I'm privileged to work with him and that whole team. Another is NAAC. And if we talk of international accreditation, there are three bodies which are in management institutions which are very popular worldwide. That is AACSB, Association of Advanced Collegiate School of Business, ECVIS, European Foundation, EFMD, that is European Foundation Management Development, promoted by that. And third one is AMBA, Association of MBAs, located in UK. There was an effort to have this South Asian based accreditation agency also that is existing, and what they call is SACS, South Asian Quality Systems. In fact, SACS is promoted by EFMD. The whole system has been copied from there. But one thing which is really worrying is that in last couple of years, if I talk of 8-9 years, the quality of management education is coming down drastically. I will just refer to one report, that is Global Competitive Report. In 2007-8, Indian management education was ranked at 8th position. And in 2014-15, the rank has come down to 56th position. In fact, 8th, 12th, 15th position, then 23rd, 30th, 33rd position, and finally 56th position. Why it is happening, and how this accreditation and ranking can probably help. All of us know this thing that in India, around 85% of business schools or even engineering institutions are promoted by private promoters. And probably their objective is slightly different. Some of the private promoters, they are doing great job. Private schools, they are doing great job. Probably better than some of the government institutions. But majority of private institutions, what they are doing is probably their motive is different. It has been probably commercialized. And we have to think very seriously that what should be done. We keep talking about acute shortage of faculty members, good quality members, faculty members. What we should be doing for that? So accreditation, when we talk of, like say if you talk of any good schools, I remember that 15 years back when I was working with MDI, and we were trying to have international accreditation. And that time application was rejected by one of the international accreditation agency. What Professor Natarajan was talking, it was rejected on the ground of diversity of the student and diversity of faculty members. Now they have amended their criteria, and that's why some of the schools have got this accreditation. If you talk of this accreditation, AMBA, this national accreditation, hardly 10% of the schools have got accreditation, maybe for 2 years or 5 years or whatever it is. So it's a long way to go. If we talk of international accreditation, ACSB, only 3 institutions in India, they have got ACSB accreditation. Only 2 institutions, they have got ACQUIS accreditation, and only 9 institutions have got AMBA accreditation. Probably, I personally feel that there are large number of Indian business schools or engineering institutions, they can get international accreditation, but probably they were not participating earlier. Of late, there is a demand, they are trying to go global, and they are applying for international accreditation. In my opinion, this, in the accreditation, one of the important components, and probably because it's a learning, it's a peer review. So one of the important components is that self-assessment report. Let me tell you this thing, whether we get accreditation or not, that is not really important. What is important is that knowing that where we stand, what we are doing, where we want to go, how to go there. So this self-assessment report is a very powerful document. If we are able to prepare, and it's a very comprehensive document, it is nothing but basically trying to compile all information put together, trying to develop processes, putting processes in place. So after this inquiry, or once this accrediting agency finds that you are eligible and they ask for self-assessment report, I think that this becomes a mirror for any institute or any school. It says that where you are. So in my opinion, that all schools should be going for accreditation, and particularly this self-assessment report really helps them to grow and to improve. Most of the self-assessment report, if you talk of, it has a couple of parameters, and these are organization, mission, governance, and leadership. Input processes, what are the enablers? Output processes, what are the results and outcome-based parameters? Then what are the different processes being followed, and what is the feedback control mechanism for that? And almost all accreditation, if you talk of, this is what broadly being covered, whether it is national accreditation or international accreditation. So when we talk of this, you know, like say, once any institution is accredited, there is a great deal of benefit, whether for a school, for students, for recruiters, for parents, for society, for country at large, everybody gets benefited. Let me just talk about these institutions. As I mentioned earlier, that it is a mirror. It gives you the real picture. That accreditation process qualify the strengths and weaknesses in the process adopted by the institution, and provides direction and opportunities for future growth. Helps in getting funds and grants. This is one of the very important aspects, because most of the places wherever you apply for grants or any funds, they ask whether you are accredited by national body or international body. So accreditation becomes very much important. It signifies the performance of institution. It differentiates from the peers. It helps in global recognition and also in collaborations. Many times we talk of international collaborations, whether it is for student exchange, faculty exchange, joint collaborative research. So they also ask that whether you have accreditation. So really it helps the organization for collaborative collaboration, this collaborative research. It helps in attracting good faculty and students. Right now, this per the rule, 15% of students can be attracted from abroad, but probably most of the institutions are not able to attract that thing. So if any institution is going for national or international accreditation, may help. Same is that students. As a student, I would like to know that where I am going, what is the standing of that school. Students do refer, the parents do refer these different type of rankings, different magazines. I will talk about that ranking afterward. So it really helps students. It helps employer. They come to know that, okay, what is the standing of that school, what they are doing, what type of delivery process they have.
Sai, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we'll have to.
I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, just I will try to. So likewise, it helps all sections of the society. Let me just touch upon this ranking part of it. If I remember correctly, that first time ranking, because both the things, accreditation and ranking, is quite new for all of us. It came in 1998 by and published in Business Today by Cosmod. And in the ranking, it really helped us. That time I was with MDI. That really helped us that in some of the parameters we were not doing well. And we tried to investigate that. And after seeing that thing, we felt that yes, we must start doctoral program. Because points earned in that doctoral program was very less. Then we found that, okay, research is not good. Research points is very less. So probably that time, that was the thinking. But if you talk of any ranking, any international or national ranking, Professor Natarajan was talking about that. He referred to 3 ranking agencies. Let me just talk of 2, that QS World Ranking and Times Higher Education Ranking. In both these rankings, 60% of weightage is attached to research. Like say in the QS World Ranking, it is academic reputation research and citation put together is coming 60%. Whereas in Times Higher Education, again it is research and citation put together is coming 60%. We have to really see that how much research we are doing. A lot of debate is going on that about the research contribution made by Indian schools, whether it is engineering, management or any field for that matter. But one thing is very good, that as previous speaker said, that MHRD has come up with a framework for ranking that will really help, and they are also trying to categorize in different class. So that will really help Indian schools to grow, and I think this is the way probably we can move forward. Thank you very much. Thank you.